So as we're actually sitting here meeting this evening, there's a group of students from the global business class that are meeting with an executive in the food service industry in Boston. So one of the beautiful things about tools like Zoom is that you can be visiting with people from all over the world. They are working on a project to help a meat processing company in Armenia to be able to have more of a global presence. And Nara, were you on the call with Sven Eric Ries the other day? Is that your group?
Our first, yeah.
Well, I can't hear you, but so we had another group meeting with a gentleman in Norway that is helping them with their group project. So whether you like it or not, we are all in a global environment these days. And before I start the presentation, what I'd like to get a sense from some of you, and you know how to unmute yourselves and speak up, or you're welcome to use the chat feature as well if that's easier for you. But when you think of globalization, what is the first word that comes into your mind?
Supply chain.
I'm sorry, say that again, Ermine.
Supply chain.
Well, let me turn up my volume because I'm not hearing you very well. Okay, one last time.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Supply chain, maybe.
Okay, supply chain. Okay.
Open borders.
Open borders. Okay.
Anywhere in the world.
Investment.
Yeah, investment anywhere in the world.
Globalization.
So, okay, we'll accept globalization. So when you think of an organization as being global, what's the first organization that comes to mind?
Multinational corporations.
Yeah, can you be more specific?
Google.
Google, okay.
Microsoft, McDonald's.
Microsoft, McDonald's. Hold on, has McDonald's found its way into Armenia yet?
Not yet.
No.
No.
Thank God. Okay, good.
Deloitte, McKinsey.
I'm sorry?
Deloitte, McKinsey.
McKinsey, okay. How about before these companies? Can you think of an organization even before any of the ones that you all mentioned? How about if we go back a couple of 100 years?
This maybe not couple, but 100 years ago, Nestle or.
Okay, how about 400 years ago?
Dutch East
Railways.
India Company.
Yes, okay, so now we're getting there. So globalization was actually, the initial players in globalization were actually not corporations. The initial globalizers of the world were countries, right? You had Portugal, you had Spain, you had England that were globalizing back, hundreds of years ago. There's an old saying in England that, the sun never set on the British Empire, meaning that wherever the sun was shining, there was always, some part of Great Britain that was being represented.